Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, March 25th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got NHL action this Monday afternoon. Vegas Golden Knights versus the St. Louis Blues. Puck drop is going to be here in just a couple minutes. Hope everyone had a fantastic Monday, and we're going to get started here momentarily. Let's get some music queued up, and we'll get ready to go here on NHL Network in just a few minutes. Oh, baby, let's go. This is a big matchup, too, as we're getting kind of towards the end of the season. You know, the Seattle Kraken have been eliminated from the playoffs, so I'm still going to be covering, the NHL. And I always like watching the Vegas Golden Knights, very competitive team, always going to be in the running for the cup. And with the St. Louis Blues, hey, they got a chance to be able to get the dub here, tonight. And Robert Thomas is their Mr. Everything, leading in points, goals, and assists. So we'll see if he is going to be good enough to be able to help this team get a dub. And earlier in the year, when these two teams matched up, the Blues ended up beating the Golden Knights in Vegas 2-1 in overtime December 4th. And then they played a couple days later in St. Louis. And then Golden Knights got revenge, winning 6-3 on the road. So whoever ends up winning this particular matchup will end up winning the season series. Let's go. Megan in the building, what's good? Tony in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as on YouTube. Let me get the volume situated here. Let's do it. Let's get it. Avalanche, Stars, Jets in the Central, Canucks, Oilers, Kings in the Pacific, Wild Card, the Preds, Golden Knights, and the Blues. So, at this moment, the Blues and Golden Knights are fighting for that wild card spot. And then after the Preds, Golden Knights, Blues, you got the Wild and the Flames beneath them. So we'll see how it ends up playing out. And then I was trying to, I was hoping that we could end up doing Caitlin Clark with Iowa. But again, a lot of the options for links are not covering the women's college tourney, which is a little unfortunate. But I know Sarah and a few others will keep me in the loop. And then if anyone ends up finding a link that they can shoot me, I'll end up watching it there. And I got it on in the living room as well. So let's go. Let's get it. And there's not a lot of options tonight for hockey. We only have two matchups. We have this matchup on NHL Network, Vegas Golden Knights versus St. Louis Blues. St. Louis Blues are Sarah and John's team, so I figured we would end up doing that for them. And then we also have the Kings and the Canucks on about an hour from now, and that's it. So a very, very short slate, only 2 games on. So I figured that we would end up doing this particular matchup, but I will be keeping an eye on the March Madness tourney on the women's side, especially when you have 3 quality matchups with Paige Bueckers, right? Over 30, which we probably knew that was going to happen, right? You're going to end up having Caitlin Clark. It's almost a given she'll put up over 30, right? And then obviously at the end with Juju Watkins. So we will see. I was really hoping that some of the other streaming links would be providing the women's tourney as an option, but I guess you're going to have to keep building the women's game, further and further on. And then hopefully some of these other opportunities will come up so that way more people can actually get eyeballs on the product. Let's go. What was Buecka's stat line? What is the game over yet or no? Captain Jack Eichel, baby. All right, I might as well just start taking a quick look here. And thank you to Megan as well as Sarah, helping out on the Twitter/X side. It really does mean a lot, as well as Matt. Thank you for that too. I appreciate that. All right, I'm just trying to get all situated here. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. I hope you guys had a decent or a good Monday. All right, I'm going to take a quick peek here while we got a couple minutes while the players are getting ready. All right, let me take a quick peek at the stat line. All right, so UConn is up 67-64 with 50 seconds left. So I would assume that they will be able to close the game out. Now let me look at her stat line. Wow, look at her. 32, 10, and 5. That's awesome. You know, you got to think, you know, there was a time, you know, where college hoops for the women's side, you know, you would have numbers like 30, 40, 50-point games, you know, rarely, but it's not as consistently seen as we are in 2024. And obviously it shows with some of the talent that we've had. Thanks with the share there with Cyberpunk as well. And that's awesome to be able to see. And then I'm taking a look at the schedule here. Oh, you did? Awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear. Stefan obviously can make you smile a little bit with all things considered. That's awesome to hear. And let's see, we got Iowa and West Virginia going to about tip off momentarily. And I would assume Iowa will win big. They're favored to win by 14.5 on the spread. So it should be a blowout. But you never know. Maybe West Virginia will bring their A game. You know, Pat McAfee's alma mater. We'll see if the ladies from West Virginia can get it done. But I highly doubt it. And then after that, obviously USC and Kansas on the women's side at 7 p.m. Juju, a nice trifecta for the ladies. And again, I initially I posted this morning that I was going to end up doing the Caitlin Clark matchup, but again, a lot of the streaming sites and a lot of the options to be able to cover the game are non-existent. At least I wasn't having any success. So then I had to pivot and kind of shift towards the NHL game instead of just saying fuck it and taking the day off. I don't really like being lazy or taking days off. I'd rather grind it out and work. And then we got a good matchup here tonight with Vegas and St. Louis. So. Oh, you did? Let me see. Nice. So are you starting to open up to, the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I mean, Marvel is good. You know what I mean? Like I said, everyone's going to have their favorites between Marvel or DC. And then if you don't really like a lot of Marvel or DC, maybe Star Wars, but I would say this. As far as Marvel is concerned, not every Marvel movie is going to be great. You have to kind of pick and choose, based on, your likes, but if you do give them a chance, a lot of them end up being fantastic. Like the Deadpools are great, Avengers are great. I really enjoyed the early Iron Mans. Wasn't really into some of the others, that were out. I feel like with Captain America and some of the other ones, those ones were kind of hit or miss. You either really liked it or it was just kind of okay. It was kind of a watch. But most of the movies that Marvel puts out, overall are pretty good. Black Panther is one of my favorites. Obviously the Deadpool, and obviously, going towards Avengers and Iron Man. And, you can't really go wrong with those. Big facts. Doctor Strange is one of my favorites too. I think those are very, very good. Absolutely. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I was a little skeptical of Doctor Strange when it first came out. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna be for me. And I let me give it a shot. But as soon as you get into it, you see the special effects and the acting and the writing and the action that was in it. I definitely was hooked for sure. Yes, fantastic. I 100% agree. Yes. All right, baby. Let's go. Vegas Golden Knights, St. Louis Blues. Puck drop momentarily. So as far as DC, what's your favorite on the DC side? You like Batman, or what's your DC loyalty to? What do you like on the DC side? Season statistics, Logan Thompson and Jordan Bennington. 25, 19, and 3, 2.85 GAA. Save percentage of .912, which is fantastic. And Bennington's got 3 shutouts. Aiden Hill is injured for the Vegas Golden Knights or is not playing, so Logan Thompson will be in net. 19, 12, and 5, 2.77 GAA. Save percentage of .905, and he's got 1 shutout this season in 2024. I got you. Also, I think it depends on, age, and what you grew up with. And, obviously, depending on how old we are, sometimes we're going to have a little bit more love towards stuff that was from back in the day, maybe compared to stuff that is a little bit newer. Like if you're 20 years old, you're probably not going to have the exact same favorites as someone as 40 or 50 years old. So I totally get it. I try to keep an open mind with everything that I watch on the, Star Wars and Marvel and DC. And for the most part, I enjoy almost everything that I, put my hat into. But definitely there's going to be some that are better than others for sure. Get started here momentarily. Shout out to all the people watching on YouTube as well as Twitter/X. Salute to you. We've got some crazy weather here in Oregon. A lot of rain and then a little bit of sunbreak and then a little bit more rain. But I definitely got my couple hours worth of walking with Paisley already. Still got one more walk late tonight when it's completely dark. And that might be my most enjoyable walk of the night, or of the day in general, just because there's no one outside except for me and Paisley. So, it doesn't matter how far we walk or what neighborhood we go into. We don't really get bothered by any other people or any other people walking dogs. So it's a nice kind of break after the stream is over to be able to spend time with the Paisley pup. And I'll be taking her to the vet tomorrow. So hopefully that will go all well. And we got a good matchup here with the Vegas Golden Knights and the St. Louis Blues, baby. Yeah, I just thought Robert Downey Jr. did a fantastic job in the original Iron Man. And then when you get all the superheroes together, I think a lot of it, comes down to the special effects and who's in it, And especially if you're, into the comic books, or if you played the video games, everyone is going to have a kind of a connection, or if you ended up collecting the toys when you were younger, so everyone has kind of that, thing that made them like that particular movie or cartoon and whatnot. So like right now I'm catching up on old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon from the 80s. So 87 was season 1. 88 was season 2, and 1989, when I was 7, was season 3, and that's what I'm on right now. And I've already watched, I think I'm like 30 episodes in and whatnot. So it's always nice to be able to kind of rekindle and tap into something that I watched when I was younger to have those memories. Oh, Oppenheimer was nice. It was a lot of talking. I liked it that it shifted to black and white, but once, they had to go over kind of the whole breakdown and, building the story and everything. But I really did enjoy Oppenheimer. I got a chance to watch that a couple weeks ago. That was on the list to watch, and I finally got it done. Marchessault and Captain Jack Eichel. We'll throw up a Robert Thomas up here for Sarah. Letty, 1,000th career game. If I can find a good one to Robert for the Blues. There we go. I got one. Oh, they're handing out Rolexes for the Blues. They're like, oh, 1,000 career game. Here's some Rolexes. Daniel in the building. What's good? No worries. No worries. Like I said, I'm here to be able to grind it out and improve people's mental health if I can, and just to go through the regularities of a Monday through Friday work week, as well as just making sure that we keep on tap with what's going on in the NHL world, as well as the women's tourney for March Madness. Presentation is going a little bit longer. I thought puck drop was going to be at 5 o'clock, but I guess if you're going to have a celebration, you're going to extend it a little bit. And there's only 2 games that are on today for the NHL circuit. So, oh, nice. Kittle is there. Hell yeah. Well, I figured there's going to be people that when they have time off, you're going to see some celebrities. As far as with Caitlin Clark, they're going to get more celebrities and more people that are going to go out of their way to watch her than anyone else. Not that Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins aren't good. They're great, but she's the face of women's hoops. And, there are definitely going to be people that will go out of their way to watch her. And I would assume that they'll end up getting the dub here today. And then we'll see how far they can go. All right, we're about to get started here. Yeah. Distractions are good, even if it's just good, positive conversation, talking about TV, movies, sports, whatever it may be. All right, Binnington and Thompson, let's go. Let's see if Binnington can find a way. Oh, Kittle's wifey played. I did not know that. Nice. And I imagine they'll be talking about that type of stuff on the broadcast if people didn't already know that already. So, all right, here we go. Cue that. All right, what do we got? Shen, Letty, Thomas, Neighbors. I see you. Oh, Thompson with the save. Man, Blues are super aggressive right out of the gates. But again, there's a lot on the line, right? Because probably only one of these teams is going to hit the wild card. I'm not sure if both are going to end up making it. So these are going to be very crucial games to be able to try to come out on top. And obviously, most people would probably lean towards Vegas just based off their reputation and winning, the Stanley Cup. But the Blues are pretty good. If you actually look at the points, and they're almost. Let's take a quick look here. I said they're pretty close. It's 38, 30, and 3 for the Blues. 38, 26, and 7 for Vegas. So they're really neck and neck for the wild card at this point. And we still got a few games left, so we'll see if they can make some ground in their divisions as well. Yeah. I did see they're giving away a really cool Jared McCann bobblehead tomorrow for the first 10,000 fans, through the Kraken socials, which would be, if I lived in Seattle, to be able to grab that bobble, I would definitely go, even if, they're struggling. And, just hopefully that we don't continue on this losing streak, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games in a row. It's tough, but again, not every year is going to be a playoff year. And hopefully they can figure out the right combination of players moving forward into 2025 for the Seattle Kraken. And they split earlier in the year. Blues beat the Golden Knights December 4th in overtime on the road. And then the Golden Knights beat the Blues on the road 6-3 a couple days later. So they are split so far this year. It's not like the Golden Knights are blowing out the Blues, 6-0, multiple times. So, and the Blues are at home. So we'll see what happens. I would assume most people are leaning towards Vegas, but I think Blues definitely, Robert Thomas and company, they have a chance for sure. Yeah. Well, I imagine behind the scenes, he's even angrier, because like I said, we have to actually get our good players to start playing well. And, we're not getting good results, out of our guys that we normally count on. It's a very frustrating thing to watch. But again, for us in the Pacific Northwest, if we, represent teams in Oregon and Washington, we're diehard. We're not going to give up. And we understand we're not going to be great every single year. But when we do get to be championship caliber team, that's when we might be able to go all the way. Usually when we're good, we're really, really good. But again, sometimes when we're bad, we're really, really bad. So it definitely goes both ways. 18 minutes and counting in the first period. 3 shots on goal for the Blues, 1 for the Golden Knights. Should be a good one here tonight. Keep me updated, Sarah, with the matchup with Iowa and Caitlin Clark, if you can. One thing about Vegas that you notice if you watch hockey on the regular or just occasionally, they're very big, they're very physical, they're very good at passing, they're very good at with depth, and they have about 8 guys that can score goals on any given night. So, even though they might not be the number 1 team in the NHL, you never can count out a team like Vegas. Incredible depth for that roster. All right, who's going to be the X factor for the Blues tonight, Sarah? If you're watching both matchups, if you're watching the Blues matchup or watching Caitlin Clark, other than Robert Thomas, anyone else that you feel that could step up for them tonight? Toropochenko, Hayes, Neighbors. Hockey from home in the building. What's good? How are you? White Cloud. Yeah, I just got a notification. I shared it with Reflect, and my buddy Justin Brian Woo's got an injury, and he's going to start on the IL just like he did last year. So that's what I was kind of wondering too, because we all felt that Woo was the number 5 guy in the 5 hole, but Emerson Hancock from Georgia, the first round pick, he's not as good as Woo, but he showed flashes. But now he's going to be our number 5 at least early on. When we start the season up, which is a little unfortunate for Woo and his momentum. But hopefully he'll be able to bounce back from the same injury he had last year. All hockey from home, 1, 2, and 3. I appreciate you. How's your day going today? Miss hockey from home. Kessel, Toropochenko, Kapanen, Krug, Sundquist, Hutton, Carrier, Howden, White Cloud. Okay, baby. I wish we had a few more matchups today for hockey, but at least we have a good matchup to be able to follow. Not that the other one isn't good, but this one is definitely worth streaming for sure. Good energy in the building by the Blues. Oh, and you don't have Aiden Hill and net, so we'll see if they can take care of Thompson, and we'll see if Binnington can end up holding the Vegas Golden Knights to 3 or less. If Binnington can hold Vegas to 3 or less, they're going to have a chance in this game. But if it goes over 3, 4 or more, they're done. They're not going to be able to win, not with this Vegas firepower, unless it ends up going to like overtime or a shootout. But again, the first 2 matchups was a 2-1 game, and then we got a 6-3 game. So it's either kind of lower scoring, defensive oriented, or we're going to get a game with a shitload of goals. So far, we don't have anything yet, and hopefully we end up getting someone to start us off with some scoring. 15 minutes and counting in the first period. 3 shots on goal for the Blues, 2 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Letty, Parenko. Ooh, no icing there. I'm doing good. Like I said, I got to take my pup to the vet tomorrow to get just a couple regular annual shots and whatnot. So I imagined, when she gets in there, it's not going to be the most exciting thing. It's probably going to hurt a little bit, but I'll take her to Petco after and try to get her some treats or a new bone or something. And I haven't looked at the schedule for tomorrow yet to see what we have on the slate for sports tomorrow, but I'll take a look once we get into intermission. Ooh, 11-8 West Virginia. Wow. I mean, the only way that you're going to be able to beat Iowa is if you get Caitlin Clark in foul trouble. If she gets 2 fouls early and they have to put her to the bench, that might be a way for them to, you know, kind of even up the matchup and whatnot. But Clark is pretty smart. She doesn't really, get herself into foul trouble too often. Physical play so far here. So Paisley, so she's a American Staffordshire Terrier, like slash pity. So she's 2.5, and she still looks like a puppy though. And I'm here in Oregon on the West Coast. Where in Canada? Where are you at? Calgary, Vancouver. Where are you at in Canada? Hayes. Ooh. Oh, Barbashev. Good pass. Hulk Sunquist. Walker. Barbashev. Yeah. Unfortunately, Alex is not playing tonight. Neither is Aiden Hill. So we won't get to be able to see him tonight. There it is. Oh, 1-0 Golden Knights. Pavel Doyerfiev, assisted by Anthony Mentha. 1-0 Vegas. I was gonna say within a few minutes it felt like that first goal was gonna come up at some point. Odin in the building. What's good, my guy? Kraken Ducks tomorrow. It's hard to do these Kraken games as of late because we're approaching like a 10-game losing streak here pretty soon. So it's like, I want to be able to do the game, but it's just so frustrating. It's one thing if you're on like a 4 or 5 game losing streak, then you're going to break it. But once it gets to like that 7 number, 8, 9, you start to a little bit lose hope, and we're already eliminated out of the playoffs. But we'll see what we end up doing tomorrow. How are you, Odin? You watching Monday Night Raw? Keep me updated on Monday Night Raw and what's going on with that as well. Yeah, I don't know, man. Could go either way. I mean, Vegas has the upper hand right now, 1-0, and I would assume 70% of the bets are probably on Vegas tonight, even though they're on the road. But Robert Thomas is great. Goals, points, and assists, leading the team. So as long as you have a guy like that, you can never count them out. And they split in the regular season so far, 1 game each. So that's crazy when we were talking and you got that 2 foot of snow overnight, man. I've never experienced anything like that. That's unbelievable. I've never experienced anything over shit. I'm trying to think like 6, 7 inches of snow. I think that's the most I've ever experienced in my life. I've never had 12 inches of snow or 24 inches of snow. I don't know what that's like. I mean, obviously, I've seen pictures and video, but you being in New York and me being in Oregon, it's a night and day difference based off that kind of weather. I'll have to look at the schedule and take a look, to see. But it might be a possibility. 2-on-2 with the Blues. I'll have to get a photo of Pavel here in a second. Oh, that's poke check. Saved. Orofiev. Hold on, let me see if I can find one here. Man, most of the photos are not very good for him. Let me see. I got to be able to find at least one. Jay in the building. What's good? I got to refresh this. I got to be able to find another logo that doesn't crap out like that. For whatever reason, that's the only one that does that. But we'll give Vegas a little love with their logo. All right, Pav, let me see here. Vegas, Golden Knights. There we go. I was going to say there's got to be a nice one I can find. Some of them weren't formatting, but we want to make sure we're showcasing at least every individual that gets a goal. 1-0 Vegas. Oh, there we go. It's a nice one. All right, baby. Here we go. 1-0 Golden Knights. And as long as they can keep Marchessault and Eichel to a limited, domination in the second and third period, then we'll see where it goes. Yeah, keep me updated on Monday Night Raw. Keep me updated on that Iowa Hawkeye game with Caitlin Clark as well for the people that are in the room. Barbashev. I gotta turn this thing down here one sec. I appreciate you, man. $4 holla, 96 to go. Thank you, man. Every dollar counts. Whether that be to pay a bill or to be able to, get dog food for Paisley. Things cost quite a bit, and and I'm going to be grinding every single day pretty much. So, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Odinson with a $4 holla, 96 to go to hit the goal. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $4 holla, 96 to go to hit the goal. Anything specific that you want to see? You want some Bray Wyatt? You want any wrestling? You got anything? You want some Devils? You got anything specific that you want? You let me know. I got you. Yeah, it means a lot. Like I said, sometimes we get support, sometimes we don't. And, when you're doing this as a full time job, nothing hurts worse than when you're grinding it out and you're not getting the support that you need to be able to live and survive. So, Neighbors, Thomas, Krug. Ooh, here we go. No worries. Hopefully, there'll be some other people that will be able to help out. I know I got a bill coming up, I think in about 2 or 3 days. And then obviously I got to take Paisley to the vet tomorrow. And so I don't really know what that's going to come out to be, money wise and whatnot. I would assume it's probably going to be like $200. So not ideal, but she's family and she's my everything. So I have to make sure I do everything to make sure that she's healthy and she's happy. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first period. The Blues on a power play, 1-0 Vegas. Jerry Sneed, yes, I got you. And I'm hoping that the NFL will start, ramping up with some news. It's been dead quiet for a while. I mean, besides the hip drop tackle that they outlawed, but I mean, I get it. They want to be able to do it for player safety and whatnot. But again, if you end up having a guy, that ends up being 250, 260, 270, sometimes you can't, tackle a guy with the upper body. You're going to have to go towards the waist, the hips, the knees, the ankles. You're going to have to go that route. So, they can say, oh, it's outlawed and whatnot, but it's still going to end up happening throughout the game. And, again, it does lead to serious injuries. I would know because I had Mark Andrews in fantasy and it fucked me over, with him getting injured based off that play. So I understand where they're coming from, but it's one of those plays when everything is full speed. It's not like they can cradle someone to the ground. It's a violent sport. Guys are getting CTE from it. This isn't just two-hand touch. It isn't flag football. So I kind of see the pros and the cons on both sides. Oh yeah, we got to fight. Yeah, Shen, get him. Yeah, baby. Oh, they're haymaking. Oh, baby, let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Oh, 10 punches thrown each. Let's go. Oh, I wish they would have let him go a little bit longer. McNabb. Woo! There we go. Wow. We got an injured Blues player. Huge hit from McNabb. Shen didn't approve. He said, "You fucking try to hurt my teammate." One guy goes to the locker room, and the other one starts fighting. Oh, ooh, big hit to the head and the upper body. And Shen is like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." He just started throwing bombs after bomb. McNabb's helmet flew off. That was a decent fight. That was actually a decent fight. Wow. All right, let's try to squeeze these in here for Odin. Yeah. Always good when you can get a fight squeezed in there. Shen going to get that extra minor possibly. That was a lot better of a fight than I've seen because most of them, it's like a couple punches and then the refs get involved. I like ones where they just let them go. Let them go. Appreciate you, brother. $4, 96 to go. McNabb coming in. Oh! Decently clean check, but it was a real physical check. So, off the initial replay, it looked dirty, but after watching that opposite camera angle, it looked pretty clean, but just a really hard, aggressive hit. And, he had to stand up for his teammate, and I love it, when you get someone to stand up for their teammates out there. I appreciate that. $1 holla from Sarah. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, Rex on Rex with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $1 holla. We're at 5.95 to go. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want. You want some Caitlin Clark? Is that what you're wanting? Let me know. Yeah. Plus, there's no men's on right now. The men's, the Sweet 16, we don't got any of the men's March Madness till Thursday. So right now, only the women's are currently on. So, all right, 1-0 Vegas. Big physical play. And again, keep me posted on Monday Night Raw, Odin, if you're watching that also with this game. And also keep me posted, Sarah, on any of the action that's going on. And did UConn end up winning for the women's with Paige Buekas? I assume that they hung on and won. They're usually really good at free throws at the end of the game to kind of close it out. So I would assume that UConn got the dub for the women's. And then we got Iowa going against West Virginia. And then after that, we got, was it USC and Kansas with Juju Watkins? So And you're going to definitely see a lot of these females that are at the top of their game in the WNBA, but not just in the WNBA, but they should be able to dominate in the WNBA. It feels like kind of a changing of the guard, with Sabrina Ionescu from the Ducks. And then now you're starting to see the next wave of these amazing females that are going to carry over the game and get a little bit more popularity to college hoops for women's as well as the WNBA game. And I follow a little bit of everything. It's good for my mental health. It's like when NFL and college football is over, I got to make sure I'm transitioning, NHL, and then we're going to be getting into baseball here pretty soon. Basketball and college hoops are going on now. We got wrestling, pretty much a couple times a week with AEW and WWE. So every single day I try to be able to, take advantage of whatever sporting event is going on or wrestling. You want some George Kittle? You want George Kittle, Iowa, specifically? UFL, XFL combo. Yeah, that's coming up here too as well. And I'm celebrating Easter a day early just because stepmom has to work on Easter and they wouldn't give her the day off. So I'll be hanging out with them Saturday afternoon. But when I get home Saturday night, I might do a stream. And then on Easter Sunday, since I'm not going to be going anywhere, probably just eating leftovers. If there's something good sporting event wise on Easter, I'll definitely do a stream on Easter as well. Less than 6 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Golden Knights. Come on, Blues. Let's tie this up. I want a good competitive matchup. I don't want 3-0, 4-0. I want it to be very back and forth. And Vegas is probably my favorite team to watch other than the Kraken, being a Kraken fan, even though that they are rivals, just like the Dallas Stars and the Colorado Avalanche. But they're just certain teams that, are great to watch just because that they're going to bring it every single game. There's never a game where Vegas gives up. And I really admire them for that. No matter, even if they get down 5-0, you don't really see their body language change that much. And that's when you can tell a team has a championship mentality. And I love that. Same thing goes for like the Kansas City Chiefs, with Odin's son and his team. It's like even when the Chiefs get down by 20, they don't give up, and I like that. It's all about energy and effort, the double E's, baby. We're going to a commercial break, 5:24 left in the first period, 1-0 Golden Knights. All right, let me see if I get a Willie Gay up here for Odin here. And Sarah will get the George Kittle up as well. And we got to flip everything up here. L'Jarius Sneed, but it'll get a good opportunity for Trent McDuffie to be the starter, and then they'll draft a corner or two, I would assume, in this year's draft, and they've been doing that pretty heavily, unless they feel one of the guys that they've drafted in the last 2 to 3 years will step up. But I would assume with a big loss like Sneed, one of their draft picks will be corner. You would have to pretty much guarantee that. I would be shocked if Kansas City didn't draft one this year. I mean, it would probably be smart to draft a couple. And let's find a nice Willie Gay here as well. See if I can find like an action shot. Oh, here we go against the Bengals too. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Is it football season yet? Man. Love me some NFL and college football. It's tough when the season ends. That's a dope one right there. All right, let's see what we can get here for Tight End University, Iowa, Hawkeyes, baby. Ah, that's a cool one. Look at him with the 46. He's got like a fullback number. Love it. Great personality, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he joins WWE once his NFL career is over. or have some kind of role in WWE. Whether it's an ambassador or part-time wrestler, or I mean, depending on if he wants, because I would assume that he's a huge wrestling fan, and he's got a great personality. I think he'd be great on the microphone too. Even if it was just him being like a manager, or just being like a special guest during WrestleMania, like once a year. But it wouldn't shock me if he has some kind of part in WWE once his career is over with the Niners. All right, 4:04 left here in the first period. Hayes, Krug. Ooh, just wide. Marchessault, Barbashev, Eichel. This is a good line for Vegas here. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting a goal here late in the first period. Used to have a Colts Manning jersey. The OG, one of the greatest of all time. All right, line change there. But Marchessault, Barbashev, they got White Cloud in there with Wah. Ricochet wins. Who did Ricochet go against in Raw tonight? Shot a little wide. Less than 4 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Golden Knights. And I'll get you a couple more Kittles once we end up getting to intermission. Oh, good save. Bennington. These guys are getting chippy. It looks like they're going to start another fight sooner than later. They're trying to hug it out, a couple of them here. Not everyone wants to go for everyone's head. All right. March Madness. It was fun. It didn't last long for the Ducks, though. Hutton. All right, here, let me see if I can find another Kittle here for you. Maybe one in the white uniform. And make sure you're taking care of your mental health. It's very, very important every single day. Check off those boxes on what you need to do. Exercise, listen to music, make sure you're doing those things, keeping up with friends to make sure that you can win the day. All right, I got a good one here. All right, commercial break. CM Punk with the Cubs belt. Found a couple others, but they're not really formatting. Let's see. I got one more maybe on the next commercial break. Great physicality here with the Vegas Golden Knights and St. Louis Blues. A lot on the line. Wild card positioning. All right, we got McNabb, Marchessault, Barbashev. Blues don't look defeated out there. They just need to be able to get Robert Thomas or someone to get them going. Yeah, I mean, whatever you feel that's going to be best for you, Megan. You know, if you want to hang out with us, hang out with us. If that's going to keep you distracted and a little bit more happier and whatnot, you know. But if you want to step away and, you know, play video games or do what you need to do, we'll still be here. Like I said, I'm going to be here for another. Where are we at right now? We're about 50 minutes in, so I'll still be here for like another hour and a half. So usually the streams will be about 2 hours and 30 minutes or 2 hours and 45 minutes, and then I'll be back tomorrow too. So. You're on the Canadian side of the Portland Northwest, Vancouver. I'm here in Oregon. Matt in the building. What's good, Matt? How's that Hawaiian weather treating you today? 11 shots on goal for the Golden Knights, 9 for the Blues. Royer Fayov with the only goal so far. And no Aiden Hill in net. It's Thompson in net. So there is opportunities there for the Blues if, you know, you can get into a couple power plays. But Vegas is tough. I don't care if you play them at home or on the road. You know, they're very difficult to match up against. There's not very many teams that match up to them very well. How long you been watching the Canucks or being a fan of them, Jay? We got 2 minutes left in the first period, and then I want to be able to take a quick peek on everything else that's going on. I was really hoping that I could end up watching the women's tourney at the same time. You know, at some point, I'll be able to hopefully get everything lined up too, like when Monday Night Raw goes to Netflix. So then that'll be another opportunity for us also, where I can like watch Monday Night Raw at the same time, hopefully as everyone else. And then, you know, I guess depending on how they end up doing it, if they do like an East Coast or West Coast feed like they do with cable now, but it would be really awesome if we could be all on the same page where we could all watch it together. But I don't really know how Netflix is going to do it. Yeah, the Bray documentary coming up. I'm so excited for that. I know it's going to be a little sad, but it's going to be cool to have a celebration of his life and his career. And there's going to be some behind-the-scenes stuff, photos, videos that we've never seen before. And I'm really looking forward to that. You know, seeing stuff with, you know, Bo Dallas, his brother, you know, being able to see, you know, I'm not sure if Liv is going to be a part of it at all and some of the other wrestlers, but I'm very excited to see the people, you know, that are close to him. JoJo and whatnot to see how they end up doing it, but it is going to be must-see TV for me. David in the building, what's good? Yeah, and I probably will end up doing some of that league, you know, that XFL, UFL type of, you know, combined league with The Rock, you know, but again, there's usually an initial hype like the first couple weeks, and then if the offense isn't that good and the quarterback play stinks, then people stop watching or they don't watch as much, you know, and then I usually will sporadically, you know, tune in. But one thing I do watch every single year is the championship game. I make sure I watch that to see what, you know, ends up happening. So all right, got less than a minute to go in the first period. If the Golden Knights and the Canucks both win tonight, the Canucks will be first to have there's a pretty good chance that that's going to happen, Jay. I would say there's probably a 95% chance that that's going to happen. I think Canucks are going to win tonight. At least that's who I feel is going to win tonight. And then Vegas has got the 1-0 lead. And, you know, again, if Vegas gets, you know, above 3 goals, you know, for the Blues, it's going to be a wrap. They need to hold Vegas to 3 or less to have a chance. Which is a tall task. You know, how many teams could really, you know, keep Vegas under 3? Not very many. Unless, you know, you have like Marchessault and Eichel and Barbashev and a lot of their guys are injured, then yeah, maybe that, you know, but end of the first period, 1-0 Vegas. All right, let me know where we want to go for photos. Odin, Sarah, anybody else in the room, you guys let me know what you guys want to do for photos while we wait for this period to end. And I got to take a look at some stats as well. All right, so we got 13 shots on goal for Vegas, 10 for the Blues. 15 big hits for St. Louis, 10 for Vegas, and penalty minutes is dead even at 7 apiece. A little surprise, face-off percentage is being won by St. Louis, 58% to 42 after the end of the first period. Very aggressive first period for both teams. Take a look. I gotta look at the women's March Madness here real quick. See what's going on there. All right, Iowa's up 26-19. Creighton's up 10-6. Notre Dame beat Ole Miss. NC State beat Tennessee. UConn won 72-64. Well, no surprise there. So there are really not a whole lot of surprises as far as the women's so far. And then we got Kansas USC with Juju Watkins, and then Utah Gonzaga at the end of the night. But the main three that people are keeping an eye on is the UConn matchup against Syracuse, Iowa, West Virginia, and then USC, Kansas for the women's side. And now let me take a peek to see what we have for Caitlin Clark's numbers. What do we got? 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 for 10 shooting, 3 for 7 from deep. So she's trying to keep her team into it. 26-24 Iowa. Okay. All right, I got you. Hold on. And let me see here. What else was I going to look at? I forget. Oh, I was going to look to see what was on tomorrow. One sec here. Monday Night Raw, first hour. What would you give it, Odin, on a scale of 1 to 10? First hour. I'll try to be able to tap into that later tonight since I'm here on the West Coast. All right, so tomorrow we got Bruins, Panthers at 4, Flyers and Rangers, Hurricanes and Penguins, Red Wings and Caps, Devils and Maple Leafs, part of ESPN Plus's Hockey Night. That's a decent matchup. Golden Knights and Preds. Man, Preds are just on fire lately, aren't they? Oilers and Jets, Flames and Blackhawks, Canadians and Avalanche, Blue Jackets and Coyotes, Ducks and Kraken. I mean, battle of the bads. But at least they're doing a cool bobblehead giveaway for Jared McCann, and he's got a fish in his hand with a bobblehead. I definitely would go to the game and get one of those if I lived in Seattle. And then the Stars and the Sharks. So far, only a 3, huh? Only one match? Oh, a lot of talking then. A lot of promos, huh? Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let me squeeze in some photos for y'all. Keep me busy. After 1-0 Vegas as we're in intermission. We're gonna hit the Gabby. We'll hit the Caitlin too. Punk calling McAfee, calling him out. I got you. I really did enjoy, Deadpool and Black Panther, and you could argue Deadpool and Black Panther is just as good as any other Marvel movie that's been made. Obviously Avengers, a lot of people are going to like that, and some people might like Captain America, or they might like Iron Man. But, just based on like watchability, I feel like Deadpool and Black Panther you can watch over and over and over, and you don't really get tired of it. But some of the other movies, I feel like you're almost like a one and done, or you have to watch it like once and then give it a few months or like a year, and then maybe you can watch it again. So. John in the building, what's good? Delete some of these other photos so I can make a little bit more room. Cycle through them one more time. Make some room. 1-0 Golden Knights. Three stars of the week: Ovechkin, Austin Matthews, and Connor McDavid. Can the Kraken get someone like that? I hope so. Kings and Canucks about to get underway. There's a stud right there. You know, there's not too many like for sure guaranteed player that's gonna pan out, but there is a few, and this is one of them that's going into the draft. Big facts. Good. Jackson, Powers, Johnson. I wish, you know, like I said, I wish Tampa was, you know, looking for a player like that. I'd love to have someone like that on my favorite team for sure. And that's hilarious too, with all the fake rumors about Washington and their GM that they're going to select JJ McCarthy like number 2 overall or number 3 overall. Ridiculous. All a bunch of smoke. You got to remember, every single year, you know, there's always going to be a lot of stories that get pushed out to the media, you know, but it's all smoke. You know, we're really interested in this guy, but they're not. You know, I highly doubt that Washington would be stupid enough to take McCarthy over Jaden Daniels or Drake May, but you never know. Washington is pretty stupid overall, so we'll see what they do. But I highly doubt that they would be that dumb to go McCarthy as like the second quarterback off the board. That would be like the dumbest shit ever. But again, you know, it is what it is. You know, the media has to pull off that smoke. You have to always believe what you read or what you see. But one thing is guaranteed, this guy will pan out. And he'll be like a Penei Sewell. And whoever gets him, he's going to be a Pro Bowl, all-pro player. And it could be as early as the very first year, you know. And if it's not the first year, it'll be the second year. It's not going to take him a long time. I mean, he's probably one of the most NFL-ready players overall in the entire draft. He's smart. He's a good athlete. He's a team player. You know, he's not going to get in trouble off the field. You know, he's got a good physical presence. You know, good arms, good legs. He's got everything that you would want in a center in the NFL. Big facts. Squeeze one in for Matt while we can. Certified Duck fan. Ghost Rider Nightcrawler. Have you watched X-Men 97 yet on Disney Plus? Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's also good to go back to watch the original X-Men cartoon if you haven't watched that. You know, leading into the X-Men 97 and whatnot. But me too. One of the best heels that's in the business right now. You know, like as far as big men, Like he might be like my top guy, because you can have him as a face, but he's so much better as a heel. He's got great microphone presence, and he's great in the ring. Big facts. 2 weeks out. I don't think Washington is stupid enough to go for a guy that didn't even really throw the ball. Does he have really good arm strength? Yeah, he's got really good arm strength. But for a team that ran the ball and played defense, he didn't really show that he could be an NFL quarterback. At Michigan, he's a product of the players that were around him: the offensive line, Blake Corum, all the running backs, and then the defense. So, is it possible that he ends up being like decent? Yeah, but I think he's the worst one out of the 6. If I was going based off my pecking order and based off film that I've watched, I wouldn't want him for my team. And then if Minnesota gets him over Michael Penix Jr., I know Minnesota fans aren't going to be happy either. So, but again, someone's going to end up drafting him, and good luck with that. Yeah, it's worth it, dude. 10 out of 10. It got like a 99 or 100 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think there's only 2 episodes on there so far, and I watched both already, and they're awesome. A little bit different. The animation is a little bit different with X-Men 97, but if you like old school cartoons or cartoons in general, like I said, I thought the adaptation that they did was awesome. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want him on Tampa, even if he was my 3rd string quarterback. I wouldn't want him. So that should be very glaring, that if I wouldn't even want him on my team at all, even 3rd string. Again, he's got size, but again, out of these like 6 quarterbacks, 2 are going to probably pan out, 2 are going to bust, and 2 are probably going to have to wait until they go to their 2nd or 3rd team to pan out. Not every single one is going to pan out. You might only have like 1 or 2 right away that pan out, and then 2 that you might have to wait 3 or 4 years to pan out, and then there's going to be 2 or 3 busts out of that group, maybe even higher number than that. So. Yeah. Also, too, everything that was done by Pete Carroll and the way that he ran the team, with Schneider is now going to be completely different. Like McDonald and Schneider are going to be completely different than when he was with Pete. So you don't really know what to expect until you actually see a couple drafts to see what they do based on the players they draft, the free agents they bring in. So it's like a whole new thing starting over again. So, there may be some similarities, that you will see maybe similar type of guys, but I feel with McDonald and the way that he coaches that it might be completely different, so it might be a whole, type of rebuild, and they might try to form the team and do like a baby Baltimore Ravens, which would actually be pretty good for, the Seahawks. Yeah, Geno's better though. There's no reason to be starting Howell over Geno. He's kind of turnover prone. But again, if the offensive line can block a little bit better, he could do just as good as Drew Lock, as a backup. But I wouldn't want to have Howell starting over Geno, because like I've watched pretty much every game, or almost every game or matchup, not only for fantasy purposes, but just in general, to keep up on these quarterbacks. And there's some good, with Sam, and there's some bad with Sam, but Geno clearly is, so much better. It's not even close. So, all right, we're into the 2nd period now. 1-0 Vegas. Oh, it's a cool image. I like that. Is that on Monday Night Raw, Odin? The image that you sent me in Bray? I like that. Nice little collage that they put together there. Eichel. Iowa struggling a little bit. Carrier, Hannafin, Colasar, Howden. Decent opportunity there by Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas is going to have to be super aggressive for the Blues if they're going to want to be able to get back into this matchup. Yeah, Sam is a QB too. After being, a starter, that since you don't have Drew Lock, it's the perfect person to have back up because Sam necessarily isn't going to lose the game for you. He's going to be a little bit better than a game manager if he makes good decisions. But sometimes he doesn't make good decisions, so that's why they're going to have to evaluate him as they go forward. And it wouldn't surprise me if Sam isn't on the team, down the road. It might be just temporarily, just to be Gino's backup until they figure out what they're going to be doing in the next couple years. But as far as a backup, one of the better backups in the league, especially when he had a lot of starting experience for Washington. But again, Washington is, like a dysfunctional family. The Commanders, the Redskins, the football team. Like they always have athletic players, but they always end up underachieving. And they never have the right coach or the right coordinators. And again, they have a lot of athletic pieces, but again, you have to be able to have the right mentorship and the right coaching to make sure that those guys stay in line and to be able to believe in each other. Like they had an amazing D line for years, but then they broke it up just last year. So, when you had Payne and, obviously with Chase Young, and now the D line isn't as dominant as it was because at one point they, had one of the best D lines in football, if not the best, number two. So, but now they have to, rebuild that part of their team as well. But I imagine, going to Seattle will be better than, playing for Washington. You have a better chance of making the playoffs if you're on Seattle. Oh, you found the image? It was a dope image, bro. I like that one. Carrier, Mantha, Hannafin, Howden. Krug with a nice little stop there. Less than 16 minutes to go in the second period. 1-0 Vegas. Yeah, and you have to think, Seattle will be drafting a quarterback at some point. Whether it's a late draft pick this year, fourth round or later. But again, at some point, you're going to want to have a first or second round, draft pick to replace Gino, or you're going to bring on a free agent to replace him when that time comes. But it would be cool to see them draft a quarterback like a top 10 pick. And they end up getting their future quarterback for like 10 years. But who knows if that ends up happening, because if Seattle still, is a good team, then that means that they would have to trade up. They're not going to be a bad team. They're not going to be a team that wins like 4 games and then they're going to just be able to draft that guy. I would assume Seattle should be sitting, around 9 or 10 wins or higher, for every year, as long as everyone stays healthy. Now, if there's injuries, then they may fall back to 6, 7, 8 wins, and then maybe that'll be the year that they go for a quarterback if something like that happens. But based on the team and the roster, you would assume that the Niners will still be the top dog, in the NFC West. They're going to be winning somewhere between 10 and 13 games, and then the Rams and the Seahawks should be neck and neck, and both of those teams should be somewhere between probably 9 and 12 wins. 9 if things don't go right, and then if things go right, 10, 11, 12 wins. So it'll be very interesting to see how it all kind of pans out. No, it's not for her. It's for Matt. Matt lives in Hawaii. He's a big Duck fan like me. So I always try to be able to put up photos of the favorites of the people in the room. For me, I'm not really a Swiftie myself. You know, I don't listen to her music. Less than 15 minutes to go. 1-0 Golden Knights. Shen, Falk. I haven't seen Robert Thomas, getting as much ice time as I expected. What do we got? Barbasol. We got Marchessault, Barbashev, Hanifin. And with Eichel too, you haven't seen as much ice time for him either. Yeah, I don't mind the Beavers. Like I said, I feel bad that they got left in the dust with Washington State. It would have been really cool for them to be able to get picked up by the Big Ten. But I always watch every Beaver game, and besides when they play the Ducks, I always root for them. So, and their program, obviously took a hit, with recruiting and obviously losing their head coach. But I would assume that it's going to be a long time before they're relevant again. Based on what happened. But I still like rooting for them though, and I got a lot of friends that are both Ducks and Beavers here in Oregon. So it's like when you're born, you're either one or the other, or you're either a hardcore Blazer fan, and then you're either a Duck or a Beaver. 1-0 Kings. Wow, fast start for them. Falk with that nice block there. Less than 13 minutes to go. Defensive battle here tonight. Oh, Carlson, Hutton, Mantha, Howden, McNabb. Yeah, Vegas blocks more shots than any team in the NHL. Defensive juggernauts. How to play. Of course, bro. I always try to, I always try to reach out and whatnot because, hell, me doing this full time, like I said, not every day is a successful day, based on when I got shit I need to take care of. But again, if I can't get the right numbers on the likes and the subs and the donos and the views, and, of course, I need to be able to survive and pay bills. But in the meantime, I can't let that affect my mental health overall. And then I got to make sure that, the people in the room are okay. I don't have to do that, but I go out of my way to make sure that people are okay, in the stream, and if it's not in the stream, maybe outside of the stream, on socials, or if we have each other's phone number and whatnot. So sometimes you're going to need that little extra support, and sometimes just having a little conversation, can go a long ways. You know, and sometimes you're going to be closer with people online sometimes than rather than people face to face that are in your hometown city or state, and that's big facts. Yeah, espresso queen. Yeah, you need to sleep. You need to take a little nappy nap there in Australia. I think that would be good for you. Maybe have something good in the background that you can have on there. And like I said, I'm going to keep grinding it out. I should be pretty much every day we'll be grinding it out. So yeah, that's one thing about like the regulars and the goats and the mods and the main people. It's like we are a family, and it's nice to be able to have people that genuinely care. instead of people saying that they care, but they really don't. But like, a lot of us, are pretty fucking close, man. Like, especially if we're spending like 3 hours a day, almost every day with each other. Like, that's a lot of time to get to know each other and whatnot. You guys might not be able to see, I might not be able to see your faces, on stream, but the connection is there and the effort is there, and that's what it's about. Is being able to put in that effort and being there for each other, even if we are, thousands of miles away from each other. 1-0 Golden Knights. 12:08 left in the second period. Oh, what a steal. That was a one-on-one attempt there and poked away by Vegas. God, it's just like every time the Blues have like a little bit of an opportunity for a one-on-one, a two-on-one, or two-on-two, and then here's Vegas, and it doesn't even matter who it is. It could be someone, deep on the depth chart, and then they find a way. They are so talented with depth. McNabb, Stevenson, Theodore. Now they have a little line change. Hutton, Carrier, Colasar, Howden, Whitecloud. All right, what do we have here? Shen, Letty, Walker. No icing. Come on, Blues. Because you can feel Vegas is on the cusp of scoring again. You can feel it. It's just right around the corner here. Hutton, Carrier, Colasar, Howden. I want to take a look at the stats here. I haven't peeked at that in a minute. And what's going on Monday Night Raw? What's going on the Iowa matchup for the March Madness? All right, we got 18 shots on goal for Vegas, 13 for the Blues. We got 17 big hits for St. Louis, 13 for Vegas. And penalty minutes, we're dead even at 7, and now Vegas is at 9. And face-off percentage is a little bit more even now, 53%, 53.8 for St. Louis, 46.2 for Vegas. All right, I need to refresh this. All right, one sec here. There we go. All right, St. Louis power play. .10:31 left in the second period. We got in there Falk, Hayes, Sundquist, Chen. Robert Thomas needs to get on the ice more. Like, how the hell are they going to come back if the best player isn't even on the ice? Out of play. Take a look at the lineup. See where we got McNabb, Stevenson, Waugh. All right, Egg. And then we got with Chen, Falk, Hayes, Sod, and Sundquist. Put Robert Thomas in there, damn it. Got to find a way to take advantage of power plays. That might be the only way that they can end up getting goals tonight, getting that 5-on-4 advantage. Feels like the Blues are kind of going through the motions. You know, it's like I feel that it's not like they're not trying out there, but passing needs to be a little bit crisper. And they need to find that right line. And again, you got to have Robert Thomas on the ice more. I mean, if you're going to be leading in points, goals, and assists, and he's not out there, we got an injury? Is that Sundqvist on the ground? Oh, fucking Sundqvist is injured. McNabb just fucking up everybody on the Blues. Got a player down. R-Truth. Yeah. He's a GOAT, man. Guy never ages. Still looks the same as he did like 20 years ago. That his leg buckled. McNabb is just trying to check everybody into the wall. Face, hip, leg. He don't care. McNabb is a menace. He already injured 2 players on the Blues tonight. Unbelievable. Now Sundqvist is being carried off by 2 assistants into the locker room. He isn't coming back. That's tough. Paisley's in here. She says, I miss Dad. Crazy how something like a pup can change your life so much for the better. My whole world. All right, less than 9 minutes to go in the second period. Man, hopefully the Blues don't run out of players. McNabb injuring everybody. Oh, good save. Go back to this other one. One sec here. Letty. Eichel hasn't had enough ice time out there either. I don't understand why Eichel is not out there as often as he should be. Okay, here we go. Yeah, wide receiver, tight end, whatever fits you, bro. I mean, if you're athletic enough, you should be able to do both. Now we're going to commercial break. So we can get a couple photos up. All right, let me go check up on my pup here real quick. She peeked her head in here, and then she walked out. So let me make sure that she's not getting into trouble, like trying to get into the garbage or anything. So let me take a quick second to see what she's doing. All right, I'm back. Canucks tied up 1-1. Nice. Good competitive matchup. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be a defensive battle here tonight, but seems very similar to the first matchup that they had where it was a 2-1 game. The Blues won on the road in overtime December 4th. And then the second time they played, it was a goal fest. It was 6-3 Golden Knights in St. Louis. So looks like we're kind of going back to that first matchup where it might be very, very low scoring tonight. All right, no problem. Take care. I'll still be here. But I'm just baffled that, the ice time for Robert Thomas and Eichel is so low. You would think that, two of the better players on their team would be on the ice a little bit more. I mean, I get it if they're battling injuries or whatnot, but I'm a little baffled by that. He's out there now, though. We got McNabb, Stevenson, Theodore, Amadio, and Eichel. Man, Iowa's struggling, huh? Less than 7 minutes to go in the second period. Defensive battle here tonight. We got 11 minutes of ice time, but it doesn't feel like it for Thomas. It feels like just like a couple minutes, like 1 or 2 minutes, and he's out already. Like I need more time on the ice. Yeah, give him a little bit longer. Give me some like 5-minute stunts, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Give me a little bit longer. Line change. Krug, Thomas, Neighbors, Kessel. And what do we got here with the line change for Vegas? We got what? Carrier, Hannafin, Kolasar, Howden, and Hey, okay. And even though there's been 34 shots on goal, most of them haven't even been close, which is a little rare. Did not anticipate this matchup being like this. Good pass. It's almost like watching a street fight. Oh. And as soon as the Blues think they have something going, what happens? You get a Vegas player that just pokes it away. It's the 10th time that's happened this game. Good block right there. And another thing, too, that Vegas is really good at, they usually have a couple defenders next to the goalie at all times. So there's like not just one body that you have to get it past, like 3. It makes it extra difficult to get goals. Marchessault, Carlson, Hutton, Barbashev, Whitecloud. That's a decent line for Vegas. Candela, Falk, Hayes, Walker, Kapanen for the Blues. Oh, big check on the boards. Interference or high sticking on Whitecloud. 2 minutes. High sticking. Oh, this looks interesting. Mariners are going to have a new food item this season called the Double Mitch Witch. Features 2 different halves inspired by Mitch Haniger and Mitch Garver. Haniger half contains grilled chicken breasts, marinated tomatoes, bacon, Havarti cheese, and a fried avocado. While the Garver side is pulled pork, sliced Black Forest ham, Swiss cheese, Dijonnaise, and sliced pickles. I got to try to make it up to Seattle at least once this season. The Mitch Witch. Canucks lost the first game 5-1. That's crazy because the Canucks are so much better than the Kings. But again, sometimes a certain team will have your number, you know. But then they got the second one. So 2 totally different games. Either, you know, one that's lopsided and lots of goals, you know, and another one where it's just a defensive battle. And that's kind of how it goes, you know. You're not going to get a 7-6 game that often, you know. A lot of times it'll be like 4-3, you know, or you're going to end up getting something that might be like a 2-1 game and possibly overtime or a shootout. So shorthanded. Oh my God, how did Thompson save that? The Blues had a really good shot. That was the closest shot that they had right there. Damn, John. Oh, I mean, out of all the shots tonight, that was the closest. Out of 36 shots, besides the one that came in earlier for Vegas, and they got their goal with Pavel Doyofayev. Man, that was close. I don't even know how we fucking saved that. They just got to feed off that momentum. Now, if Aiden Hill was in, I think the Blues would have already scored once or twice. Not saying that Aiden Hill is terrible, but I'm saying that I feel that if Aiden Hill was in, maybe they have a goal or 2 at this point. Aiden Hill is kind of streaky. Sometimes good, you know, sometimes not so good. Come on, Blues. Make it a game. But at least on the flip side, at least not Vegas isn't going off where it's like 5-0 and, you know, the game is already over. Come on. Who's it going to be, John? Who's it going to be, Sarah? Who's going to step up for the Blues? Is it going to be Shen? Toropachenko? Huh? Hulk? Who's it going to be? Someone's got to step up. Binnington is doing the best he can. He's already got 3 shutouts this year. He needs help. What a pass right there, too. And that's what happens when you have long legs, you know, and you stick your leg out, you know, just enough to block the puck. If he didn't stretch his legs out like that, we're looking at a 1-1 matchup. Got to give credit there to Thompson sticking that fucking leg out there. Chicken wing that shit. 48-38. What's going on in the game, sir? Is it West Virginia's defense just playing better, or is Iowa shooting themselves in the foot? What's going on in that game? Is the defense better for West Virginia? Is Iowa taking bad shots? Are people getting into foul trouble? Why aren't they blowing out West Virginia? You know, especially if they're favored by like 15 on the sports betting line. Like, what's going on in the game? All right, less than 3 minutes to go. We got 2:18 left in the second period. 1-0 Vegas. But at least they've extended the lead to 10. That's better than only being up by 2 after a quarter or 2. Shen, Letty. Carew. Baracco. Come on, man. The bodies are, it seems like Vegas, you know, in their defense, every time there's an opportunity, there's always someone in the way. You know, they're a defensive juggernaut. I hope the Kraken one day can be like that. You know, I hope that they can get the right players. First off, they need to end up having like an amazing center, you know, like, you know, a star player like a Connor McDavid, and then just getting a bunch of great defensive players and just well-rounded players, and obviously we need better, you know, play in net as well. As much as I like Grew and Decord, I mean, they're not good enough. You if we want to be able to get to the playoffs and actually be a decent team in the NHL. Letty. Kyrou, just wide. Maybe Kyrou can get you guys going. I like his athleticism. He's always got his head on a swivel. And it seems like a lot of times when Kyrou is in, Robert Thomas is out. Why not have both of them in at the same time? 48 seconds left. Oh, nice. Come on, Robert. Robert, very inefficient tonight. But obviously that's not him. It's the Vegas defense. He's got to get into the crease. The passing needs to be a little bit crisper, but it's obviously easier said than done when you're going against a team like Vegas. 26 seconds left. Letty, Hayes, Neighbors, Stevenson, Amadio, Hanifin, Wah. Ooh. Maybe we need another fight to get the juices flowing, get the momentum going. Good save by Bennington. Off the boards, out of play. Man, the Blues, what's going on here, Sarah? Blues struggling. Iowa struggling a little bit. Did she really? I know her dad was yelling at her to be quiet, when she was complaining to the refs in that first game. You got to think there's going to be a lot of fans that are going to be doing a lot of verbal exchanges, a lot of FUs going towards her as well. So you got to be able to keep your cool, though. But, you're going to be like public enemy number one. If you're Caitlin Clark, you're the best player in the world as far as the women's and college hoops right now. So there's going to be a lot of hecklers trying to get underneath her skin. She's just got to be able to ignore it the best she can. Otherwise, if they do get in her head, then they might end up losing at some point in the tourney, How many points does she have so far? Oh, nice save by Bennington again. End of the second period, 1-0 Vegas. I'm not sure if the Blues are going to score today. There's so many shots on goal, but I've only seen like 2 quality shots out of the 16 for the Blues, 1 per period. You got to have. I mean, it's like almost watching the Kraken. It's like it's got to be better. But luckily for the Blues, you're only down by 1. You're not down 3-0 and the game is over and you're not coming back. Like, you can still come back, and win this game in regulation or possibly in overtime or in a shootout. It is possible. But something needs to change. I think the line changes need to be better. Like, when I'm looking, because I'm following the line changes as they're coming in, and I feel like they don't have the right group of guys in at the same time. Physicality needs to be stepped up a little bit too. $19. So she might end with like what, 28 to 32, somewhere in there. How much? What quarter? What are we in? Like, how far into the game are we? Is it the first half or the second half in the game for the Iowa game? The second half, right? Because it started at 5, right? So it should be almost over. One quarter left. 10 points. Yeah, she might be able to get that. I mean, a couple threes, a couple buckets, a couple free throws. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Very, very important. All right, is there any other games that I should be paying attention to right now? right, I'm going to see what else is on. What do we got? We got Sixers and Kings, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Mavs, and Jazz. Maybe I'll turn on the Kings and Canucks game. Kings and Canucks on intermission as well. Yeah, looks like they are. First intermission. Damn, I was hoping to watch a little bit. Well, I guess that goes out the window. Damn, I wanted to watch a little bit. Shit. Oh, well. Well, I can still turn it on and watch both at the same time. My internet's strong enough, so. All right, let me know what we want to do for photos here while we're waiting. All right, let me go check up on my pup here real quick. Make sure she's not getting into any trouble, and I'll be back here in just a couple minutes. End of the second period, 1-0 Vegas. right, I'm back. Shit, I hope so. I hope so. I was hoping for a little bit of a high-scoring game. I was hoping for like a 4-3 type of matchup, but you know, just watching the matchup itself, you know, Robert Thomas, not enough ice time. You know, they got to find the right line, and they got to be able to force power plays. It feels like that's going to be the only way. I mean, they've only really had one good opportunity per period. You know, even though you have what? How many shots total? 25 for Vegas, 16 for the Blues, but out of the 16, you've only had one really good one in the first period that got blocked, and then that one in the second period was probably the best opportunity they've had. So, Judah in the building, what's good? I appreciate that. Third period going to start here in a second. What's good, Judah? How are you? Yes, much appreciated. No, I haven't gone over that at all. Just been watching the NHL matchup. You know, we had Odin was watching a little bit of Monday Night Raw, and then you know, Sarah and a few others are watching the Women's March Madness. But no, we haven't discussed that yet. Really? Damn! What happened? Foul trouble? Momentum? What happened? Who did Trey go crazy? What happened in that game? Campbell with $1. Appreciate that very much. Let me know what you want to do for a photo or photos of your favorite player or thing, and I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, bang, $1 holla. Thank you so much. Usually Paisley will be pretty good, but sometimes she gets a little excited. You got a particular favorite player, favorite team? Let me know what you want, and I got you. Step in the building. What's good? How are you, bro? 94 to go. All right, I gotta close my door here real quick. My pup is better. Hold on one sec. All right, I got you. You a big Manchester United fan? I got you. We always like to be able to celebrate everyone's favorite thing. You know, you end up making a donation to help me survive and live and pay bills and do my thing. And in return, you know, we make sure that we create good vibes here. And, you know, we'll end up getting you, some amazing photos, HD 4K of whatever your favorite thing is. Appreciate you very much. Let's go. Is Iowa going to lose? What's going on with that matchup? You losing power, windy, crazy weather. I know Judah Odin was saying that they got like 2 foot of snow overnight, you know, in that New York area. So I guess it's pretty crazy now. Wow, 48-48, no way. Uh-oh. Sunquist is out for the remainder of the game. Well, he got blasted there, so I kind of knew that was probably going to happen. Hopefully he's all right. What's good, bro? How are you? That little blues, little flash. They don't have a blues one that rotates. Unfortunately, that's good enough, but we got this one with the Vegas. And I wish this NHL one wouldn't keep crapping out, but someone needs to remake it, so that way it doesn't have like the errors in it where it ends up having the background. But West Virginia playing great defense, huh? And then Kings and Canucks knotted up at 1. And hopefully we can get some goals here in the third period. Let's go. Before this matchup started, and where we're at now, can we get some goals, please? All right, here we go. Third period. Got about another 30 minutes left. Okay, here we go. We're in the third period now. Let's take a look at the lines and what they have going on here. All right, they got Carrier, Hannafin, Colasar, Howden, and Haig. Decent line. And then we got Falk, Hayes, Krug, Kapanen, Pachenko. Give me some Robert Thomas in the game, damn it, if they want to be able to get into this matchup. You got to have a more than one quality shot per period, especially when you're going against Vegas. But we have to give Binnington a lot of credit. He's got 3 shutouts this year. Great goalie, and the play in net has been good. I mean, a lot of times Vegas would be up 3-0 or 4-0 in this type of scenario, and it's only 1-0. So now we just need the offense for the Blues to step up. See if they can. Oh, how to play. Binnington is hella smart. Like knowing where to position his body at the appropriate time. How to play. All right, what do we got? We got another line change. Letty. Thomas is finally in with Neighbors. Like, I need to see more ice time. It's like, I feel that like when Robert Thomas is out there, I know he's leading in goals and points and assists, but it's like he's not on the ice long enough before they make the line change. He needs to get a little bit more time to get more rhythm. Only having him in for a couple minutes, and then right when he feels like the rhythm is about to happen, then they change the line. That's tough. 21, 12, and 1 at home. 3.21 goals at home, 2.86 goals allowed, and a 19.6 on the power play. But a big part of them being at 0 is Vegas Golden Knights' amazing defense. They are, one of the best teams overall on defense in the whole league. So, wow, another close opportunity there. Almost got it past Thompson, and the Blues can't catch a break. Come on. Or maybe we need a little Blues logo in the corner to give them a little luck here. And then we even got a Blues card there in the top right. Old school. All right, we're gonna go with the Blues in the corner, see if we can get them a little bit of luck here. And make sure you're taking care of your mental health. It's very, very important. Making sure that you're exercising, listening to music, talking to friends, checking up on people, doing all the things to make sure you can win the day. Shen, Falksad, Kairu, Maranovich, let's go. Help Binnington out. I mean, hell, he's only given up 1 goal. You got to be able to score. You're averaging about 3 goals a game at home. You're at 0. Let's go. Now or never. Carlson, Mantha, Hannafin, Dorovayev. Kairu. Maybe Kairu can get him going. Kairu, will you get going? I need to put up a photo of him. Maybe that'll help. Come on, Jordan. Yeah, I always support mental health, 100%. You know, I've gone through a lot of depression and anxiety myself, so. And then we can hopefully put this up, right? Jordan Kairu, way to go! We need that. Let's go. Come on, Jordan. Well, you haven't missed anything. It's still 1-0. We're still waiting for the Blues to try to catch up, and both defenses have been great. You know, the Blues have only had really one good shot, it seems like, per period, and it's a defensive battle right now. Hayes, Krug, Walker, Kapanen, Castle, McNabb, Theodore, Carrier, Kolasar, Howden. Yeah, but I will always be a mental health advocate, and also, you know, supporting, you know, dogs and cats, and you know, the positive impact they can have on your life, especially if things are, you know, going up and down, and you feel a little lost, or you know, you have anxiety, or you're depressed. You know, having something like that, 1-on-1. Oh, saved. Oh, so close. I mean, how many 1-on-1 breakaways are you going to get before we get a damn goal? Come on, Blues. Let's make this a good matchup. Let's have it go all the way to the distance. Yeah, maybe going through your toy collection and rearranging your room or your office. You know, sometimes doing things like that can spark a little happiness with me. You know, I have so many different collectibles, but sometimes, you know, digging through a box, or you know, going through some stuff that you haven't seen in a while, or rearranging a particular room and where the collectibles are sitting in the room. You know, maybe doing something like that could help you feel a little bit better too, besides watching, you know, a show or a movie or listening to music and whatnot. You know, because we already know, you know, it's only going to be, you know, so much, you know, until more time passes. But you got to be able to find those little W's, you know, those little wins in the day. But I know for me, like, looking at collectibles makes me happy. And, you know, I've been collecting since I was 5. And, you know, being able to go through a lot of those things, especially if it's a collectible I haven't seen in a minute, that definitely brings me a little spark of joy. Or, you know, possibly searching, you know, for stuff like on eBay. Not necessarily like you're going to buy something, but just looking to see, you know, if they have, you know, certain types of figures that maybe, you know, taking a look at the pop collection and seeing maybe what's available on eBay and just doing a little browsing, you know. Sometimes that can bring a little bit of joy too. Less than 15 minutes to go in the third period. Still knotted up at the same score of 1-0. Crossbar! Oh my gosh, the Blues are getting so close. I mean, how many times do they got to hit the crossbar? How many times do they have to have one-on-ones that just Letty, Hayes, Durenko, Vodanovic, Navas? Let's go. I appreciate you. Underside of the crossbar, it can't get any closer than that. Oh my gosh. Look at the effort too. It's like, let me get the right angle. And with Thompson, you can't go low. You're going to have to go high on Thompson. Thompson with his legs. Same thing with Aiden Hill. You know, you're not going to get a lot, you know, if you're going low. You're going to have to go top shelf to the left, top shelf to the right if you're going to score on Thompson. Everything so far has been low, you know, where his legs are, and he can stretch those legs out, and that prevents those goals from, you know, coming in and cashing in. Got to go at top shelf. shot wide by Vegas. McNabb, Carlson, Theodore, Manta, Dolevadev, Shen, Falk, Krug, and Cairo. Let's go, Jordan. Logan Thompson with another save. And I honestly feel if Aiden Hill was playing, the Blues would have scored at least 1 or 2 by now. Not that I'm saying that Aiden Hill is bad, but Aiden Hill is very streaky. But he is out with Pietrangelo as well. Let's take a look at the stat line. We got 28 shots on goal for the Golden Knights, 21 for the Blues, 22 hits for St. Louis, 19 for Vegas, 9 penalty minutes each, and the Blues are dominating the faceoff percentage, 61%. The goal is coming, and you just got to, when is it going to happen, and who's it going to be? Good glove work there by Thompson. UCLA women's is in OT. What's the score of the Iowa game? Scandella, Hayes, Walker, Kessel, Pachenko. Let's go. Now the Blues crowd, they're getting into it. Hanifin, White Cloud, Howden, Kolasar, 56-52. It looks like they're going to get the win, but just barely. Yeah, too bad the streaming sites have no love for women's hoops. I would have loved to be able to, I'm not going to be doing a lot of the women's hoops in general, but for Caitlin Clark, I would make an exception. Unfortunate that they don't have that as an option. Maybe they thought that there just wouldn't be enough of an audience. Nice stick work by Letty there. 7 minutes gone here in the third period. Yeah, it's ESPN, but for me, I don't got a cable box in the studio room yet, so I have it in the living room. But if I use a streaming link, it's not on the same schedule like the March Madness men's, where it's TBS, TNT, and then if it was, I could use my Prime subscription that has Showtime, and I can actually watch the game on my TV that way here in the studio. But since they have the women's on ESPN, then they decided that these streaming links they weren't going to do it. They would rather do NBA and then 2 NHL games. So Eichel is in. Very quiet night for him. Another crossbar. You got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. The Blues. And glove save by Thompson. Man. Thompson trying to get a shutout tonight. Oh, yeah. I said Sarah would know. I mean, she's arguably the best, basketball player in college hoops right now, men's or women's. But I guess with some of the streaming links, they just want to go with, what they're comfortable, showing and whatnot. But because I originally was planning on doing the Iowa game for her, but then I started doing some research through some of these other links to see if it would be possible. Then I found out it was on ESPN, not like TBS or TNT like the men's. But then that kind of, I had to pivot from that, and then I had to do this game. So, yeah, unfortunate. It's like I said, I'm always gonna, look out for greatness, whether it is a man or a woman, and regardless of what sport it is in. It's like I want to make sure that I'm watching greatness wherever it's at. So. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. A lot of it has to do with the friends that you have too, and you have those certain people that you do those things with, and if you can sometimes have to make a tough decision and you have to walk away, from some of those friends to get better, and I think a lot of people on the channel, have gone through similar things, through, depression, anxiety, or addiction, or a combination of all three. So, including myself. So it's like, sometimes, you got to be able to, find your way out of it, but you have to want to find your way out of it, and plus with certain things, there's a lot of addictive properties to certain things where it's hard to quit when you get hooked on certain things, but also too, depending on how much money you make, it costs a lot of money to do that. You know what I mean? And so, if you got an excess amount of money, fine. But if your money changes, then you're not going to be able to maybe go after it as hard as you did before. Because, lots of things cost a lot of money. So, and I got, a lot of friends that have gone down that path too, and that I've had to kind of separate myself from, it's like, same thing with like heavy drinking and stuff too. I've had to kind of like separate myself, and just focus on the dreams and the goals. Otherwise, if I kept continuing hanging around those people, I'm not going to be, doing my dream, or I'm not doing it as often, and yeah, that's tough. Prayers up for your bro. $60.54 Iowa. That's why I like to use the platform, for mental health, whether it be for addiction or anxiety or depression or anything like that. Because, I can understand, a lot of times when you watch people, as like a host, you can't really relate to them because they don't really have the same type of problems as people that, might be in the chat, but I feel that, the problems that I've had in my life are just as common as a lot of the people that, that watch me, and I feel that's why that a lot of us have those strong bonds and connections, because I've been there. I've had to fight out of, a lot of tough, dark times. So getting fired from a job before I went full time on YouTube and being in bed for 3 weeks, and just being fucking miserable, barely showering and just eating and going to sleep and oversleeping and just being in the dark, living in my own hell, and finally having to climb myself out of that hell, and you just have to be able to, check off those boxes, listen to music, talk to friends, exercise, change your diet, maybe cut back on partying. There's a lot of things that people say they're going to do, but ultimately you have to physically do them, or you're never going to get better, or you're not going to be around, so, and I've had a lot of people pass away recently too, so. I've had three pretty close friends, take their lives, and it's really sad. Sometimes you don't realize what people are going through, behind the scenes and whatnot. So that's why I always try to be able to let people know the importance of having a pet, like a cat or a dog, that turns into family, and then you can use your love, towards the pet, and keeping your mental health on a good note. Putting your focus on something that can be positive in your life, instead of you putting your focus on trying to get fucked up all the time, and to try to taste that high, like I said, eventually, you're going to crash and burn, and either you're going to come out of it or you're not. So, but I always will be here to be a mental health advocate and try to help people along the way, because I've been there. Make some lunch. Food equals happiness. All right, we're still knotted up at 1-0. Well, I thought maybe putting that little Blues logo up there would help. It's a tough matchup and so many chances. It's not like the Blues have given up. You know what I mean? There's a lot on the line with the wild card right now. These teams are right next to each other. And like I said, you don't want to lose this matchup. One thing that's a little amazing to me is that the Blues have controlled the face-off percentage the whole game, and they still don't have a goal, but again, the Golden Knights are one of the best defensive teams in the NHL, and it's very hard to beat them, whether it's at home or on the road. The Blues won 2-1 December 4th in overtime, and then the Golden Knights got revenge in St. Louis a couple days later and won 6-3. And then this is the last matchup of the, regular season. Oh, it looks like Iowa ended up winning, huh? There you go. Congrats to Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Nice job, ladies. And that'll give more eyeballs directed to them, for the women's tourney. All right, the Blues crowd is starting to get a little bit more noisy out there. They're getting anxious. So many close calls. 3 or 4 goals that just barely miss hitting the crossbar. And the ones that are the worst are the ones that are underneath the crossbar, because those are the ones that should have gone in, but then they end up hitting that weird angle and pop out. Because a lot of times if it hits the lower crossbar, it'll deflect in. But every once in a while you'll get unlucky and you'll have a bottom crossbar that deflects out. And I guess it's just the Blues type of night. So. But I've had friends that have battled with many things, with what you're talking about, pills, alcohol, and then sometimes doing a combination of them. I mean, I get it. Sometimes we want to escape reality and whatnot and chase that feeling. But sometimes you got to, understand that that's not going to be the best way to go about it. But sometimes you're so deep into it, you don't really care. It's like all you're doing is chasing that feeling until your money runs out, and then you have to make a change. 8:16. Ooh, baby. 7:59 left in the third period. Kings up 2-1 on the Canucks. Hello? Robert? Let's go. Thompson trying to get the shootout. The shutout. And not go to a shootout. He's trying to get the shutout. I got to take a look at the lines. Who ended up scoring for the Kings, Jay? Do you know? Carrier, Hannafin, Colasar, Howden, Haig, Letty, Varecko, Thomas, and Neighbors in at the same time. Let's go. She got the record? Yeah. And then she'll be able to add on to that. Hopefully they make the Final Four or the championship. Frustration setting in for some of the Blues players. You can tell with their body language. Thompson, he's like, I'm trying to get the fucking shutout. Last 7 minutes to go in the third period. Will the Blues be able to tie this up and possibly force overtime? We'll find out. Oh, Lewis did okay. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as on YouTube here in the room. Appreciate y'all. Double E in the building. What's good, bro? What's good, my guy? How are you? I know you're ready for baseball. Oh, 1-on-1. Wow. Binnington with the save. That easily could have been 2-0 Vegas. Wow. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you helping out with the like and the share, Elliot. Appreciate you very, very much. Sarah, Matt, Megan, Cyberpunk, and Double E, my guy. Paul Hayes, Drew, Gapanen, Dora, Pacheco. Come on, Blues. You got to find the right line. A little unlucky tonight, based off puck positioning when it's hit the post, but crossbar has not been kind to them tonight. Yeah, I think we've all been very ready for baseball for sure. Found out Brian Wu had an injury though, so he's our 5 guy. So that's going to go to Emerson Hancock. The Georgia first rounder will be our 5-hole guy, at least to start the season, just like last year. So not the the best information, but the Mariners have been doing a lot of promo photos, and they have one with like Cal Raleigh, in front of the dump truck with like the big dumper, and then with the teammates, and they've been doing some pretty cool photo shoots and commercials and whatnot. So yeah, us out here in the Pacific Northwest, we're ready for some Mariner baseball. We might be able to overachieve and make the ALDS. If we're really lucky, ALCS, and if we're really, really lucky, World Series. Oh, it was Blake? Okay. Marchessault, Barbashev, Wah, Hannafin. This is a decent line here for Vegas. But nothing really from the superstars that you would expect to get something going. Marchessault been quiet. Eichel, quiet. Robert Thomas, quiet. Iru, quiet. I did not expect those 4 guys to be this quiet right now. Uh-oh. Kings up 3-1. Well, if you had money on that, Jay, for your parlay, it's not looking too good. Sucks, man. It's tough. Predicting hockey isn't as easy as people think. Same thing with, football and baseball and basketball. I mean, unless you have like a really, really lopsided matchup in like basketball, then I feel like you can predict there a little bit. But every once in a while, that'll end up, going the opposite way. So, anything you want to see, Elliot, for photos, bro, since you're in the room? Oh, my friend took her son to the zoo today here in Oregon. That's always a fun little getaway. He's super young too, so everything animal, he's gonna love. Have you got any Padre players that you want to represent? You want to pro far, throw it far, hit it far, pro far? You let me know. I got you. All right, we got less than 6 minutes to go, and I definitely did not anticipate a defensive battle of 1-0. I guess it could be worse. It could be 0-0, but I was hoping for a little bit more offensive, action tonight. But it is what it is. Every once in a while, you get a defensive battle. Medford, yeah, I'm here in Oregon. Not too far from Nike headquarters. There we go. Boom. There we go. There it is. Branded Bird. Finally. We're knotted up at 1. My gosh. Nice job, Brandon. Yeah! Dips it in! Yes! Hell yeah! There we go. Man, this crowd has been waiting for it all night. Better late than never, right? Nice job, Brandon. Nice goal by the left winger. Right, and he went in for it with the glove, and he closed his glove just a second too soon. Brandon, he loves it, baby. There we go. There we go. Way to bring that electricity, even though there's only 5 minutes left. Hey, better late than never. We're knotted up at 1. There we go. $94 to go. And Falk. Oh, just wide. Kairu, Krug, Saad, Falk, and Jen. Decent lineup here for the Blues. They might be able to get another one. Feed off this momentum. You got that Uncle Mo and you got that momentum. I mean, Vegas hasn't scored in such a long time. Their defense has been on point, but I mean, he just closed it just a second too soon, and then the puck went right past. They got a little bit lucky there. You know, Thompson was looking for that shutout too. Okay, that makes me happy now. I was like, man, you know, I don't want to say the game was boring, but, you know, it's like you want to have a little bit more action, you know? I feel that the end of this matchup is going to be exciting. I don't know if we're going to end it in regulation or if it's going to be OT or a shootout, but the Blues definitely have the Uncle Mo, and they have the momentum now. Letty, Hayes, Walker, Toropachenko, they got a decent line in here. All right, less than 3 minutes to go in the third period. We're knotted up at 1. But based on all the shots that hit the crossbar, I mean, the Blues should probably be up like 3-1 right now. A little unlucky, but they finally, they persevered. They didn't give up against this tough Vegas Golden Knights team. Now they just can't lose focus in net. And as long as Bennington does his job, which I know he will, then they'll have a chance. And if they're really lucky, maybe Jordan can end up getting a goal to win it for him at some point. Letty, Thomas, and Neighbors in. See what they can do. Minute 39 and counting. Less than a minute to go. Paul Kays, Drew Kapanen, Thoro Pachenko, March Assault, Hutton, Barbashev, Wah, White Cloud. Feels like this one's going to go into overtime. Cruz. Oh, just wide. Good agility there by Thompson to go all the way down to the ground and get himself back up before the puck went into the net. For real, bodies everywhere. End of the third period. We're in overtime. All right, we're in overtime. All right, who's going to end up winning this matchup? And is it going to get to a shootout, or are we going to end up having a winner here in OT? Marianko, Kinovich, Damas versus Stevenson, Hannafin, and Eichel. Penalty shot. Ooh. Ooh. Pachnevich. Ooh. Uh-oh. Momentum. Good opportunity. Oh, yeah. Gosh, his head snapped back on the ice right there, too. Big moment for the Blues, especially with the wild card positioning on the line. Oh, here we go. Can he win it? Wow, what a glove save by Thompson. Unreal. You got to go top shelf, on Thompson. Again, like everything that's been down low, in the bottom left, bottom right corner, you're not getting it. He stuffed that every single shot all game. Oh, there it is. Vegas 2-1 over the Blues. Tough. Jonathan Marchessault. That's tough. Like I said, you have to recognize, where, the goalie in net is playing. And Marchessault, wow. So close, too. That's tough. Wow. Vegas Golden Knights, and they had a shot, but again, opportunities sometimes are limited. Wow. Final score: Vegas Golden Knights 2, Blues 1 in overtime. I'm gonna go take Paisley for a walk, and then we'll figure out what we end up doing tomorrow on the schedule. Obviously, we need support to be much, much better. I'm doing this full time. I have to be able to eat and live and pay bills. So hopefully things can get a little bit better. But again, I appreciate everyone that came in through Twitter/X. Salute to you, as well as the people on YouTube. Salute to the people that donated, commented, and shared. And I got one question for you. Who so Let's Talk Sports Live, guys. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.